Must be they got it set automatic
Yes.
for 4:30.
Well, I don't know if I can stop, I don't think I can stop the recording until the meeting starts, but I mean, I'm hoping we can do something here. And, or we can come up with a consensus about something to recommend.
Well, I know there's a lot of bias on Beth's part about Barrytown people going up the hill.
Well, yeah, no, the same, that and Corey Street, I mean, it's,
Stupid.
yeah.
You can't be biased.
Well, you can't stop them, I mean, but there's a lot of Barry people who use it too, and
Oh, yeah.
the idea is to have everybody,
People in orange and people, that's like coming down from
I mean,
Prospect Street. I noticed on Prospect Street, you come down the hill up to Berlin and go down Berlin. That's a minor arterial classification.
yeah,
The rest of it's a major collector coming down Prospect,
yeah.
which is a different class of road. But they didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, what's Hill Street? Is Hill Street a collector?
Yeah, well, I did, but I got my head bit off.
Bit off because,
I said, well, there's stop signs in certain areas that probably shouldn't be there.
I put them there, yeah.
I know, I didn't mention your name.
I don't back away from it, I did it, and,
I said it was only that it was an instant,
single incident,
it was an instant thing.
yeah.
Just went around and said there and there, and I said there was no justification as the minutes read.
Yeah.
That's all. And,
Yeah, I mean, it didn't,
but it's not that I met, and of course, the police officer was here, and I said illegal. And he said, well, what if somebody goes through the signs? You could still give them a ticket. And I guess I didn't answer. Of course you do.
yeah, yeah.
Signs there. But anyways,
Jesus Christ, it's 4:30, nobody's here?
Beth, I guess she rides her bike up the hill, or hey, sidewalks there if you want to be safe.
Yeah, on the uphill, left-hand uphill side.
Yep, going up. And that was a mutual thing for the city and the town to have that. So,
Well, actually,
because of safety.
well, that happened after,
Yeah,
Wichita got killed.
yeah, I can't remember who it was.
Well, if somebody, it's fine by me, except if somebody, Zoom, hi Roxanne,
Zoom only
the-
points at you?
these microphones pick up, hey,
I'll be right in.
okay, not a problem. These microphones pick up the audio better
Right, right.
for. I can.
I can.
Hi, Jamie.
I can.
I'm on call this week. If I suddenly get on leave.
Hi, Jamie.
I shouldn't get mad. Hey, Jamie, did you get the email I sent today with the template for the minutes?
I will have to look.
Well, then, okay, so here,
Okay.
just, I meant to get it to you before, but
Oh, good.
that's a template suggested, if not recommended, by the manager. That's a template that's been
got that
issued to
here.
all
Oh, okay.
committees, so that can
There it
provide
is.
some
Oh, you got
guidance
it for her? Oh, that's the one that was printed out. Pass that down there to Steve. Let him look at it. I just found that in my notes here.
Oh,
If you email it to me, I can use I can use what you emailed.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But I wanted to give you a hard copy, just in case you hadn't seen it.
Okay.
So, we'll wait till Brian comes and Beth gets back. Hi, Joanne, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
Good. Just a reminder, I have to leave at like 6.
I'd like to think that by 5:30, we'll hopefully have reached some,
Whatever.
I mean, I think everybody knows what the issue is. It's a matter of trying to find some solutions. said you're on call, is that for like the day?
The whole week.
A week, okay.
We had to run to Bradford last night at 8 o'clock at night.
You had a what?
Run to Bradford, Vermont at 8 o'clock last night. He works for Down Street.
Pardon?
Are we still waiting for somebody?
Yeah, Brian. Oh, you're
Brian.
here. Okay, I was thinking, yeah, I was waiting for Brian. We'll wait another minute. If he doesn't show up, we'll get started. As a matter of fact, why don't we
Just
just?
stepped out.
Yeah.
It was only for a minute.
Yeah, no, he said he read, but why don't we get started? So I'll call the meeting to order at 4:33. Would ask for any adjustment, if there are any adjustments to the agenda by anybody. If not, we'll move on to public comment. It doesn't look to me like anybody's trying to get in through Zoom. But I'm not a proficient operator, so we'll see. So I doubt there's any public comment that won't come up under the agenda. Approval of the minutes from the July 17th meeting, I'd entertain a motion to do that.
So moved.
And do we have a second?
Second.
I had just one question. At the bottom, it says there is a divot in front of Habitat for Humanity House, which really slowed down traffic. Which, is that, are you talking about on Hill Street?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I don't know,
It's not there anymore.
oh, okay, in terms of traffic, I'm not sure what a divot is or how to spell it.
Are you talking about where they did the trench cut?
The trench cut, yeah.
Yeah, okay. all
The
right.
IDOT.
Dave now.
So apologies.
No problem. I was just trying to, in my mind, figure out where that was. So that's all I had. If no other comments, questions, suggestions, I'll call a motion. All those in favor of approving the minutes from the July 17th meeting, say aye. Aye. Any nays? No? So minutes are approved. Hello, Mr. Fry. How you doing?
All right,
Good, been a while.
that might be a good thing.
So at any rate, continuing the agenda items from the previous meeting, I apologize that I couldn't make it, but I know Brian was out too. So hopefully, intent is not necessarily to have to go over anything, but can somebody summarize, I should have digested the minutes closer, but were there any conclusions reached at the last meeting in terms of
No.
techniques?
The only conclusion was we needed you two here to have any conclusions. Does that seem fair?
Well, that's an awful lot of pressure. I don't know if I'm up to that.
And Brian too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's what I meant, you two.
yeah. Joanne, I was trying to find that email. I know I had pulled it aside, that email that you had sent with some suggestions, and I can't, for the life of me, locate it. That's not in the file that I thought it was. Oh, it was one that you had sent. It kind of had a list of suggestions, including, I think, stop signs and things like that. And oh, don't worry about it. So I guess I would start by first asking, is there concurrence that there is a speeding issue here?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Brian, you?
I've been told by the deputy chief that it is not necessarily an issue, not if you go by the numbers.
Yeah, and I guess,
What numbers are those? You don't know my answer.
I believe, he said that the numbers they have from the speed card they've had up there is that the average speed is not excessively high for what the standard, I can't remember what they were.
I think it's the 85th percentile is what,
I think you were,
if I'm not mistaken, and Art, you correct me if I'm wrong, but,
Like
Was-
85% of the cars
Yeah.
are doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
doing speed
When the
limit.
speed card is
Yeah.
there,
Is,
right?
I think, yeah.
Well, isn't that a detriment? Isn't that a thing that slows people down?
Well, wait, just hold that thought for a second, but I think what we're saying is, the target, the standard, is that the 85th percentile traffic data point is at or below the speed limit for
Yeah.
that zone. That's the standard. that we're
when I
trying to-
spoke with Larry, he said that I believe there's a standard that the police officers use, that if they're going over this speed, it makes them justify spending more of their time enforcing that limit. Am I correct? Or kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's,
There's a guideline.
yeah, I think that's for the whole reduction and
Yeah.
all that consideration. I mean,
Where the average speed that they've recorded doesn't trigger that extra enforcement in that area. But yes, yeah,
The speed card itself is a speed slower because it flashes at you that you're going faster than 25.
but, I mean,
Right? No, I'm
yeah,
asking
yes,
a question.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that's great. When the speed card's there, can we have the speed card all the time? Because that would do the trick.
Just out of
Because
curiosity,
that's what's happening, because that's not what's happening when the speed card's not there.
just out of curiosity, when the speed cart is there, does the traffic calm down enough to not be problematic?
I wouldn't say it's not problematic, but the traffic does calm down.
Yeah,
The speed does calm down. You know, and then it's, you know, it really depends, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning makes some difference at all.
yeah, sure,
Because I get awakened at 3 o'clock in the morning by the guy who goes booming up the street every day.
yeah,
But
and
that,
he's,
we're not trying to solve for that. We're
he's
trying to solve
he's probably
for-
trying to see how high you can get the speed cart to go.
Right. What we're trying to solve for is we're trying to solve for the dangerous
Yeah.
situation that we have when people try to cross the street, children are playing outside, and when people are walking or in their front lawns and
Yeah.
don't feel safe. You would go speed not going 35 and 40, which is what happens. I mean,
Jake, do you
we
have
did
any-
walk in with a gun at one point, those things that
Yep,
registers
yep,
people.
yep.
And that was in my presentation slides that I sent to you. I
Yep.
have pictures of people going forward.
Yes, I remember
35,
seeing those. I think,
Photographs of that.
yeah, Jake and, I'm forgetting his name, took, I think, Michael, yeah, had the radar gun.
Jake and I worked on it together.
Yeah.
We were neighbors at the time.
Jake, do you have a sense of what the data, I mean, have you looked at the data at all recently? I mean, I think the data we've had is more than 2 years old, which is not necessarily problematic. in itself.
Yeah, and I mean, some of that, like, was kind of pointed out that there's a couple instances where the radar said there's people doing 70.
Yeah.
You know, and especially like on Washington Street. And then you have to take into Barre County, us coming through, state police going out to Washington, us coming through, you know, depending on, it's gonna pick up, it's not gonna discern an emergency vehicle from but that's been the rare occasion.
Well, I was gonna say, and those occurrences are probably infrequent enough where it's gonna register unrealistically high speeds that it probably won't skew all of the data. I mean,
Yeah.
Body of the data is gonna still be in a more reasonable range, even if it is above the 25 mile an hour speed limit.
So, I mean, I can tell you a couple problem areas I consider, or I would say that I feel like are legitimate and one is Hill Street. Like,
Yeah.
I can sit there and it won't take me long to pull a car over. I will say, it seems like people are going faster by Nelson, coming down, you know, Woodland, Nelson. There's no good place for me to sit a cruiser there.
Yeah,
So I tend to sit at Lincoln.
can't tell
House.
for
And I don't care if people know that I sit at Lincoln. I sit there, and if it's gonna slow traffic down, great. People come down, they tend to slow down as they get closer to like Lincoln House area. But, yeah.
What you're saying between Nelson and Camp there,
Yeah,
I mean, it's sort of natural. I mean, you're coming down the hill in a narrow zone, and then all of a sudden it widens and you're still going down the hill.
and I
So-
watch people pick up speed as they pass Camp Street.
Yep.
They'll be doing 30 and then they're doing 35. And then as they're getting to the town of Barre, they're doing 45, and so I think that it does, but there's no good place to put the speed card
Sure,
even up
yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's like, we had the speed guard recently hit, and so you gotta put it, yeah, we have to put it in a place where, and so, but I think there is speeding issues on Hill Street, like, and I have speeding issues on Prospect. We could go sit on Prospect. I gotta tell you, the bigger issues.
Wait till
on-
it gets paved.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Today I sat on Merchant Street, and sure enough, after they paved it, before when the potholes were there, and it was horrible,
Yeah.
no one was doing over 20 miles per hour. People are now doing 40 on Merchant Street.
I live on Merchant. We were so upset when they were fixing the street for that reason. It's like, just
I,
just leave the potholes.
yeah, I full well expected that.
Yeah.
Now, there is one speed bump up there now, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's summer one.
We really need a couple more, but.
We, just to get an idea, we took I don't know if you want to call it petition. It just had 2 points on it, that traffic calming is sorely needed on Merchant Street, and that previous attempts and measures taken were ineffective. How many of the people on the street do you think of, as a percentage, sign that? We went up
I
and
would
down the
guess,
whole street.
yeah, this may be a trick question, but I think I would say maybe 2/3, 3/4.
100%.
Oh, okay,
Every
Yeah.
single person on
Yeah.
the street, and I got the signatures and phone numbers and addresses.
We have over 60, and, I mean, it transcends
We
politics.
went on other streets too, the adjacent streets.
Wellington and,
Every,
Yeah, I believe you
every
do, but
single person feels that traffic calming is sorely needed, and what we've done in the past, not working.
has the single speed bump that's there now after the paving, has that helped? Has it made any noticeable difference?
Right there,
we really need a couple of more.
Yeah,
they speed back up.
yeah.
We have neighbors who park on each side because there's so many children on our street, just to slow the traffic down that way.
Yeah. Does that seem to, I mean, I would
Well, when
expect
you
it
get-
would, I
when
just.
you got cars
It's one thing to expect something, it's another thing to know if.
It does
real life-
slow it down.
Because when you have cars coming from either side, they have
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
or most of them will stop them at the
We
end.
have about 10 children under 4 in the 4-house area.
yeah.
And Brian, if I may, one of the things that you missed last time was the statistics. Hill Street's the 8th most traveled street in the city. We get, from the 2022 data, which is the latest I could get,
Is that from V-Trans?
yeah.
we get 5,400 vehicles a day on our street. And compared to other places in Vermont, Hill Street sees more traffic than the Mountain Road in Stowe, and more traffic than Pine Street in Burlington, Smith, Upper South End, so we come, downtown Maine, North Maine, South Maine, Vermont 62, Washington Street, Summer, Elm, and Hill, and Maple and Berlin and Prospect and New
And that's, I believe it 100%, because I believe I told you, that's why it's classified as a Class 2 highway and not, a residential street, because of the sheer traffic that's on it. That's what, I believe it's on that data, that V-Trans has a map that shows their classifications, and that's why Hill Street is a Class 2 highway, and we get money from the state for that being a Class 2 highway, but it's all based on the traffic count. So, I believe you and agree with you 100% that it does have that much traffic.
If less money means more potholes and less traffic, we'll take it.
We talked, I think we spoke the last time about maybe there's yellow curb on one side of Hill by my house and all up to Nelson, I think. And we talked about, could we change that so there's parking is legal on both sides of the street? Which might narrow, from from Camp to Nelson before the road narrows, so that it contains the traffic.
Well, let me pick up on that thought. I don't believe there's any delineation there right now on Hill Street for parking, or, other than a yellow curb, there's nothing. Well, of course, if you had a yellow curb, then parking spaces wouldn't be there, but I don't think there's any parking spaces. Is the yellow curb on both sides?
No.
It's just a line.
It's supposed to be
Where the
yellow
sidewalk
curb
is?
On the even side, on the odd side, I'm sorry, because it's legal to park on the odd side of the street.
Okay, and are you on the odd side?
Did I say that wrong? You can't park on the odd, but it's legal to park on the even. I'm on the odd side. So there should be a yellow curb in front
And
of
so the even
house.
side is where the sidewalk is?
It's on both sides, actually.
Well, there's sidewalk next to your house.
There's sidewalk next to my house, and then it ends, and there's no more
There's
sidewalk.
no more sidewalk
Yeah, okay.
from my house up. And then, but there's no line for parking.
Yeah, right, that's what I meant. It's not designated, there's no designation.
No, but we all know what side of the street you can park on.
Right.
There's some document on the website that tells us that.
Well, I was just thinking from a striping standpoint, striping can help, not in being be all end all, but it can help if there's just a visual narrowing of the roadway, and I didn't recall seeing any parking striping there, even if the.
There's never, in the 11 years I've lived there.
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
never-
I don't think so either.
Yeah. And the other thing too, Brian, is as part of the street from Nelson to Camp is 44 feet wide, whereas the other street. So that's another issue that we have.
Which street
I
did
don't
you
know why
say?
that is, but we do.
Could you just say that again? I didn't hear.
From Camp to Nelson is 44.
feet
and-
wide,
Yeah.
which is as wide as the interstate.
And then,
And then the rest of the street is 33 feet wide. So, when you're driving, you adjust your driving to the width of the road.
oh yeah,
And we all go
Well,
really
actually, I
fast
think
on
that-
the interstate and
I mean,
really slow on the winding.
I haven't measured it, but from what I recall, that 44-foot width actually continues down to the top of the hill, past Lincoln, right? I mean, it's still
I'm
pretty.
not sure where it ends. We measured,
I don't think it's designated necessarily, but the pavement, in my mind, doesn't narrow. Once you come down the hill and go by Camp Street, the pavement doesn't really narrow until you
it
get
does a
down.
little bit.
down
No,
to
it
the-
doesn't narrow as much as it does when you go up,
Yeah, okay.
beyond Nelson. But it does narrow a bit. You can see, if you stand in the middle of the road and you look, you can see.
Yeah.
that it's a little bit more. We measured, I think we measured right in front of Lincoln House's parking lot. I think that's as far down as we went, if memory
Yeah.
serves. This is a few years ago, so.
So I'll throw this out to everybody, and to Brian, but it seems to me that, well, what I was hoping we could do with this particular traffic issue was use this as trial and error demonstration as to see what incremental things might help slow the speed. And so I had gone through your list, I'd given it some thought myself. One thing I remember on your list is the stop signs, and I, even though I'm the culprit that put in stop signs elsewhere in the city, not a lot, but enough to cause problems, I wouldn't recommend a stop sign on Hill Street just because of the nature of the street. But what about, I was thinking of three things. One would be trying to visually narrow the street through striping, either hash striping on the sides, so it really just, it visually identifies 12-foot lanes instead of 22-foot lanes. Another would be speed bumps, or whatever we want to call them, like Merchant Street.
Yeah.
Then the third, and these aren't in a particular order, then the third would be a flashing speed sign. We've got them somewhere in the
We
city.
got some, a couple of them aren't working, and we do have
Yeah, we got.
some plans, or I think it's on the capital budget to buy some more.
Yeah, could you be supportive of at least buying one to put in?
Yeah, I think we've got, like I said, we've got a line item on our capital budget, I think for this year I think we have 2 on there right now.
Are they designated anywhere, or,
No,
well, could we reserve one for Hill Street?
sure.
We can figure out where the spot is, but I'm thinking probably on the corner of Nelson and Hill, where that big old pine tree is. Somewhere, obviously, I mean, you'd put it in the right of way, but you certainly have to talk to the people, but, one time I was thinking maybe even 2, but maybe start with 1 and see if that, in
don't know. I don't
a
know.
downhill direction.
By that pine tree might not be the best place, because they are solar. Solar.
Yeah,
powered.
okay, yeah. But maybe on the other side of the, but, I mean, we can figure out a location, but could we say, okay, that's one thing we're gonna try?
Sure.
I mean, we could put in sort of an official request from the committee to move up to you. I mean, if the
Yeah, so
council, I mean,
go send everything through Nicholas,
okay,
and.
all right, okay.
They'll
all
have to go
right,
through
we'll do
him,
it,
and then
yeah,
if he wants me to do it, I will do whatever he asks me to do.
yeah, and hopefully he'd agree if, well, just hopefully he'd agree. So what about speed bumps, Brian, like bump or bumps, like what you've got on Merchant Street?
I mean, I think they, just like you said, they slow the car down
In a
right
spot,
there
yeah.
instantly. And then
So if we-
you have to worry, you get the noise
Yeah.
difference too. So,
So if we put in 30 like railroad ties, would that?
that would slow them down. But,
Was it Woodbridge where they had the humps?
Yeah.
They had probably close to 10-inch humps. That were
And were they
probably
the fat-
3,
they
4
were the-
feet.
Yeah, they were the speed
Long
tables,
swale.
speed tables, yeah.
The cop said that
Norwich, too.
it was compatible with plows.
Yeah, so where'd you say that?
It was either Woodbridge, I know they had them in Burlington along Lake
You mean,
Street.
are you talking the residential living up at the hospital?
No, this was a main street going through the,
But I'm trying to think of the location.
I'll have to nail it down where we found it. They also had them on, I think on Burlington on Lake Street when it's downtown.
Yeah.
When you're right behind downtown. Probably
God, it's been
every,
so long since I've been to Burlington.
probably every, at least quarter mile or so, they had another one of those humps, and you just cannot go faster. You just can't do it.
Where is it? In?
Speed table.
Speed tables.
The speed tables up at the elementary school, and I guess I'd call them tables and not humps, but those are ungodly high. I mean, they'll
In
take,
Barretown?
no, Berry City, up at the elementary school. Going, once you turn the corner and get by, well, start getting up to the parking lot, I think there's 4 between there and the entrance to the school. But they're ungodly high.
Tell you what, you can't
This
speed
is just
over.
my 2 cents, though. You can't put in a hump, and you can't take it 25 miles per hour.
Oh, no, well,
Those ones at Woodridge, you can only go over them at like 10 miles per hour, but that's a private
well,
parking.
part of it is actually designing, whatever you want to call it, speed bump, speed hump, speed table,
Yeah, I guess they're.
to accommodate or to be appropriate for the speed of the street that you're trying to control.
Yeah.
Where I think at Woodridge, 10 miles per hour is, I think, what they have posted, or 15. It's, and like, you do have to, I've been to Woodridge a million times. so-
Is that up at the hospital?
Yeah,
okay, right, yeah.
Nursing
right.
home. but-
Yeah.
And you used to take the ambulances and you have to slow way down.
Yeah.
The ones
Where,
we
that's a
were
private
talking
lot.
about, It was 25-mile-an-hour speed limit all along, I think it's Lake Street there.
Yeah,
They had them on a couple of roads that were used as shortcuts in Hanover, where there was a lot of
Yep.
traffic. And, I think the speed limit was 25 or 30, and what they did was they had a slow rise, they
Right,
went up a
yes,
long
yes, yeah, right,
ways,
yeah.
but they had a slow rise, they were 4 feet or 5 feet wide, and then they went down.
well, that's a speed table.
Yes, they were speed table, and you really felt them if you were going faster than 25, but they didn't, but you could go 25 on them. it wasn't as extreme as the Woodridge ones.
Point is, you
Yeah,
ain't
and-
gonna go over them at 40.
The ones at Woodridge.
No,
Or the speed
even
tables.
these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, no, I think
Go
that's,
over
I
it.
think that's part of the challenge is to find the
And
right.
they, they did, I think there were 3 on the road, so they did one, the first one was milder, and the second 2 were less mild, so that you got people to slow down from 45
Yeah.
to, 30 or 25, and then you kept them slow with by putting them on a little further, and they were far enough apart so that they weren't a problem for the plows.
Yeah. Well, I would think I'm pretty sure they can be designed to accommodate plows in the winter.
Yeah, I mean, anything you put in the road is gonna affect the maintenance on it. And another thing that you have to worry about is the drainage. How does that affect the drainage of the street? You can't block the edges to everything, so.
Yeah,
that's- And that's where I'm at is I personally don't think they work that well when you weigh the
Pros against cons.
pros and cons, and when you look at what the actual, speeds are.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are the people that go 40 and 45, but if you, get your speed data, the average is probably going to be around 30 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour zone. And being, objective data, does that warrant the extra effort in that area? I would defer to, like the design standards or something to determine that, you know how we are with our budgets and labor we have, that, if we shift to installing speed tables, we're not doing something else. So it's, that's why I would push everything through Nicholas so he can,
Well, I'm
he
sure
can
I-
work with the council to determine
Yeah, I
what
appreciate that.
priorities
My-
are, and then we'll
my-
get those done,
I
but.
mean, my thinking is that a couple of things. Believe me, having sat in Nicholas's seat for 12 years, I
Yeah.
certainly understand the budget constraints, but I also think there's at times when the city needs to try to be responsive to concerns of folks in different neighborhoods and whatever, and from my perspective, if something that we'd like to try is not in the capital budget, then perhaps could be taken out of the remaining special project funds, because it's not gonna be a lot of money.
No,
And
it's not,
frankly,
but
if
it's,
the staff can't get to it, then maybe it's something that could be subcontracted out to local.
yeah, I mean, we can work with anything, but I just want to make sure that,
Oh, no, I-
go through council and Nicholas to
Yeah,
do it,
this-
and they tell me what to do, and I will
Yeah,
get it
this-
done. I mean, I'll give my opinion to Nicholas, but if other, if this committee and council want it done a different way, it is
Yeah,
no
I know.
problem whatsoever.
And whatever I end up suggesting, I'm suggesting in the context of a demonstration project, trial and error. Maybe cumulatively they work great, maybe something doesn't work, but I think there's been a prolonged problem here, as there probably has in other parts of the city, Merchant Street in other words. But, so if we don't start trying something and see if they work, your successor is going to be dealing with the same problems, and Nicholas's as well. As far as speed bump drainage or speed tables, I don't think that has to be an issue, because you don't have to carry the table all the way to the curb.
No,
You could
but
leave-
I mean, I think the ones that were on Merchant Street were carried all the way to the curb.
Yeah, well, that's
And then the ones
an
that was up
installation
on
issue.
Allen Street were the same way, as they were carried all the way to the edge, so you end up with a puddle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you get potholes and it,
Drainage is everybody's worst
Yeah.
thing. Art, I'm sorry, Beth, I think Art had his hand up.
Okay,
Yeah, what about your maintenance? I noticed in VHB's thing here for traffic calming, by VHB, they talk about the winter maintenance. They made it a number 1, it's a problem to
yeah,
speed hump, bumps, or
exactly. I mean, then.
Table.
I mean, I don't run the plow, so I rely on those guys to tell me what works and what doesn't, and they will tell you they are not plow friendly.
P stand for.
But I think a speed bump would probably be less problematic, I'm sorry, speed table would be less problematic than a speed bump?
I don't, like I said, I don't run those plows, so I don't know for sure, but I would rely on those
Private
guys
company.
to give me the opinion on it.
Yeah.
So the thing I was going to say is, I mean, I get the concerns about speed tables and speed bumps. But I was going to say two things about that. One is that I've seen these rubber things that they put down and then they take them up for the winter.
I think
I think that's the one on Merchant Street.
Yeah, okay, so that's one, one solution. But the other thing is, I don't want us to lose the striping, because the striping wouldn't be that expensive to do. It wouldn't be anything that had any impact on the road maintenance, except that you'd have to stripe it again after the winter, probably when but, so I don't want us to lose the striping.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think the striping is, it's a matter of what you do for striping.
Not to be, Debbie Downer on it, but we are struggling to keep up with the striping that we have to get done. You'll see that, the crosswalks, they're not all done in the turn lanes, and we have guys out. We try to get 2 nights a week, they get out, but it's all weather dependent. And so, we could get it done, but especially getting it done next year that's the only thing, it's all time and.
We could get it done once and determine whether or not it makes any difference, and I do think the striping for parking on both sides is what would be most effective, because then people can, I'll put my car out there, other people will too, and that will slow things down. But I think if we, since we're talking about trying things and seeing what works, that would be a good thing. Because otherwise, what I'm concerned about is, there've been 2 pretty serious accidents at my corner.
Yeah.
In the last,
You're
since
kind
we
of at
lived there.
ground zero.
Yeah, and I'm just waiting for either the kid on the bicycle who gets hit, or our neighbors' kids who play, and then we're all gonna be kicking ourselves saying, well, we could have done something earlier.
We've actually had 3 telephone pole hits
Yeah.
in Beth's house.
Yeah,
in the
that
last
too.
5 years, so we've had 4
Yeah, that
in the
too.
last 5 years.
And that,
And
so,
each one has been very frightening, and people have been injured. People driving the cars. Thankfully, no pedestrians have been injured. But that's our fear, we have 2 young children who live across the street from us, whose mother will not allow them to play in the yard, because she's afraid.
I don't blame her.
Because cars have hit utility
Yeah,
poles.
yeah.
And she just doesn't want her children to be anywhere near.
Near the front yard, yeah. Well, but for striping, I was thinking of 2 options. One would be just have defined parking spaces on both sides. And the other would be to have I want to say herringbone, but that's not the right, but just have a width equivalent to a parking space, but have it striped, diagonally striped. So there's actually more of a visual impression than
put
just the
signage up that calls it a bike lane.
Pardon?
We could put signage up that calls it a bike lane or something, which also,
I'd be apprehensive about jumping to a bike lane for a couple of reasons. One, it would designate a bike lane in a very short section of the street, and where does it start and where does it end? And that, I think
Right.
that's an issue. And I think, could we get to a bike lane there someday? Yeah, but I think that's maybe a little bit too much to chew right now,
All right.
if we're really going for speed control.
yeah.
So I'm thinking of
Like this, you mean? So you put the
No.
stripe, and then you also put.
no,
Probably just some cross hatching.
Here's
yeah,
my
just,
yard.
it's a crosshatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. They're really, I mean, leave a 12-foot.
Probably you would do that if you would leave the yellow curbing on that side, you would put the hash marks
Yeah,
on there.
yeah.
To denote the lane width and that there's no parking there.
What are you thinking about if we're trying to control lane width there? Bring it down to 11 feet, 12 feet? I mean,
I don't.
We could really be aggressive and make it 8. Well, certainly something less than,
I'm not gonna park my truck at that 8-foot line and have the cars go by it
Yeah.
and see if it slows them down at all.
so if down below, you're saying it's 44 feet wide from Nelson to camp?
A little beyond.
Yeah, so, yeah, and a little beyond. So that's 22 feet each side, so if we brought it down to 12 feet lanes, I mean, that knocks 10 feet off each side. I mean, that, and then again, we can see whether, I don't think it's anything I said, I think he needs to take a call.
He's on call for
Yeah,
most of
yeah.
his work.
And then we, see if it works, and if it doesn't.
That's what State Street has, 10, 12, 12, 10, across State Street in front of the Capitol in Montpelier.
But what they have,
10-foot parking spaces, width,
okay, all right.
the width.
Yeah, I
That's so that people can open the door
Yeah.
without getting their car
Yeah.
hit,
Yeah.
or the door open.
And the traffic there moves at a normal speed, at the posted speed. Yeah. And that I know.
You said 10, 12, 10?
Yeah, 10,
Brian, the other thing
12,
is,
12, 10.
they've had-
12, 12, 10.
Yeah, that's 44 feet. That's what they have there.
I've historically had yard sales, people parked in front of my house and the traffic slows way down when that happens. So we know that that works. I mean, the trick is getting somebody to park there, so if you really.
The trick is to what?
If you got any vehicles hanging around at the yard that you wanna park somewhere, everybody else.
It's because make sure to pump the insurance up on them at first.
There you go.
Yeah, well,
Put a snow,
in light of
park a
what,
snow plow in front of my,
in light of what you said, I'd be hesitant to park my vehicle there unless it was a tank.
Yeah.
I have parked my car.
Yeah.
Just to
Well,
see what would happen.
well, there's that fellow on Camp Street, I think we talked about it, the
Right.
fellow on Camp Street who parks his car, or pickup truck there, and it works. So, I mean, that's the same idea, whether, if we can do it with striping.
Certainly worth a try.
So, would you, Brian, as DPW director, could you accept, I realize it's gotta go through Nicholas, but could you accept a recommendation from the Transportation Committee for a trial demonstration program that included installation of one speed?
Yeah, I mean, if the committee
I was gonna do three
recommends,
things though, speed sensor sign, the striping, and a speed table.
if the committee recommends it to Nicholas and he passes it on to me, I'll do whatever the committee asks to do.
Yeah.
So,
I got an idea here. If you wanted, instead of striping, you want something more visible, you put up your barricades that you have and make sure they're all pointed, one down and one up, you know, the way the stripes are supposed to go on the barricades. Make sure they're going the right way and just kind of place them on a slant as they're coming down the hill. So it kind of funnels them down. Just as an.
Are you talking the Jersey barriers?
Huh?
Are you talking Jersey barriers?
No.
Okay.
Not in Jersey, just the planks.
Oh, you mean the
set 'em up for
sawhorses?
You set them up for barricades.
Yeah.
for-
You mean the concrete barricades?
no.
I'm trying to.
No, those are Jersey barriers, but what he's talking about are the wooden sawhorses.
Yeah,
That
sawhorses.
we use for
with that.
traffic control.
Okay.
And they're striped, so they funnel down where they're supposed to on each side of the road. Going up the hill, they'd be pointed, going up, and coming down, they're pointed down, so they're funneling. It just as an experiment, maybe 3, 4 of them in a row at 500 feet, or 350 feet, or 400 feet, so they get the idea.
The only thing on those is
You could lose a few.
well, we have found out that those, still use them all the time, but those are technically illegal, those sawhorses.
Really?
Oh, is that right?
We still use them because that's all we've got.
Yeah,
but
well, I'm just
they-
curious, that's a curious, they're illegal, why?
Because they will fly
Yeah.
around.
Oh, if somebody hits them.
Yeah. But like I said, we still use them because that's all we've got. We do have the trailer that fire department has, their event trailer they've got it loaded with the approved ones, but we don't have those, but I guess we could put those up there, and if they get hit, it's not a big deal, or if they get lost. You know, we did send a lot of them down to the Winooski River there in the flood, but
What are the approved ones?
they have a weighted base with a metal or plastic cross pieces. But I
Okay,
think
so
it's,
if you
I
hit
think it's
them-
that weighted base, and they're all hitched together and not in
Yeah,
separate
yeah,
pieces.
yeah, yeah. So they
What
don't,
you do for those sawbuses out and somebody gets when that comes, I would go pick it
Ah,
up. And move it so that it doesn't go down to the.
but yeah, but
if it's
I'd
in-
say
and
we
if
still
it's in
use them,
pieces,
but
Ernie will sweep it up.
That's right. Look for John and Ernie on it. Our husbands are, these
Neat.
people. Yeah. The Energizer bunnies, they don't know how to sit.
I don't know why, I'm a little bit hesitant of that, though. What I was trying to accomplish was have traffic control that doesn't rely on physical barriers. That's something that people
Maybe the
hit.
lines are better
Yeah.
for a temporary.
So how about if, I would entertain a motion from the committee, gotta think about how to phrase this, but as part of a demonstration project, speed control demonstration project for Hill Street. We recommend to the Director of Public Works, the city manager, council, that we try 3, hopefully, low-cost things. One would be installation of, and this is no particular order, installation of a flashing speed control sign. There are all sorts of examples. I got 1 or 2 I could recommend.
I think we would actually piggyback with the police department's speed cart and get the same brand.
Yeah, okay.
That
Yeah,
way,
yeah, yeah.
the online data can be shared and.
Yep. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, actually, the technical selection, we would rely on you and
Yeah.
Jake and Larry and whatever, what's the recommendation. So
Larry and I
that
have
would be one
talked
thing.
about that already once, and
The
if
other-
we do those, we'll make sure that they talk and both departments can use the data.
Would be, and I'm gonna be a little bit, I guess, bold and whatever. And I would say installation of a couple of speed tables, not bumps, but speed tables. I realize it's gonna take longer to get those in than maybe to put down the speed. Do you have any, let's say it this way, do you have any of the speed bumps like on Merchant Street hanging around?
I don't know if they do, they might have one, because those were originally back in on
Yeah,
Merchants
yes,
Row.
yes, yeah.
So I don't know if they have any over there anymore, because they were taken out.
If they have any, could they get put in the next week or two? I mean, just,
Probably not in the next week or two. We're preparing for pavement
Yeah,
on
yeah, no.
Prospect in Berlin, and.
well, I mean,
the guys are
maybe as a
extremely
precursor to
busy.
speed tables, if we got those hanging around, put one or two in if we got 1 or 2.
I would probably support that more than the speed tables, because those will be actual physical construction in there.
Well, I'm thinking,
Wouldn't necessarily be a trial basis for it, but
Yeah,
those, like
but
what we have up there, and I wouldn't even propose, if we don't have any over there, to go purchase a set to put on Hill Street, especially something that we can pull up in the wintertime.
would you be amenable to having a couple, even if you had to go buy another one, if you, a couple, one between Nelson and, I should know that, what's the first street up from,
Patterson,
Patterson or Woodland?
Patterson.
are we coming down the hill or are we going up?
coming down, there's Nelson, both sides of camp, right, of Hill. Now,
Patterson.
what's the next one, is that Patterson? Okay, all right, yeah, because that goes into West Patterson.
Yeah, and there's only one, it
Yeah,
only
so
goes
if we
left.
we could put a couple of those, one between Nelson and Patterson, and then one between Patterson, camp?
Yeah, I mean, you, again, just recommend it to through council and Nicholas, and I can get that
then-
done, but
then-
timing would be the only thing. I think by the end of September, we should have more time. That's, Pike is coming in, I think, the third week in September, second week in September. And they will be paving those streets fairly fast. So I think by the end of September, we will be done our summer paving. Have to jump into maintenance, but that's the time that we'd have the little bit of time to do something like this.
So there's three parts to the motion, and the third part would be painted striping, herringbone or sawtooth striping or whatever on both sides, to a width of 10 feet on each side.
You wouldn't want it on both sides because there is one side that has parking allowed on it, right?
Yeah, but
If you're gonna put the herringbone pattern.
But the idea would be, well, I don't know, what do you think, the residents in the neighborhood, would they be opposed to losing parking on that side?
I don't know if that would follow the standards of putting that pattern in a parking area.
Yeah, if there's no parking on both sides, you could extend it all the way.
Well, I guess effectively, what I'm
nobody
saying,
can go around.
is there any
Right.
reason that side couldn't be designated as no parking, unless the residents said, oh, wait a minute, we have something?
Wouldn't that make the traffic faster?
No, I hear what you're saying, the idea is,
I thought we were putting hashtags on the odd side where you currently cannot park, and parking space lines on the even side where.
oh, okay, well, no,
That's what I thought.
I didn't even think of that, yeah,
makes
sure,
sense.
yeah, okay.
That, to me, that goes
Yeah.
along with the document that's on the website,
Yeah.
and it doesn't require any changes to
Yeah.
what's allowed for parking,
Yeah.
which I don't think we need to change.
Yeah.
But sometimes people park on the street, especially.
Yeah, okay,
Especially when
well-
you're having work done and you've
Yeah.
got a big truck
Yep.
coming to your house, you just tell them you park on the.
No, but that's a good solution, I think
Yeah, I
it
think
has
it is too.
on one side and the
Because I think the
parking.
parked cars are actually.
So
more-
that's the essence of a motion, it's a speed control demonstration project with three elements, speed control, solar powered speed control sign. I'll say speed bumps for now, if we're gonna try to put in the temporary ones, and then striping. So I entertain that motion if somebody wants to make it.
I'll do a motion.
Okay, and I'll take a second. All right, any discussion? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I'm an aye. Okay, all right, so I'll help you, just because I know what I'm thinking, let me draft that motion and I'll send it to you.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah, and get that to you. We can include that in the minutes. And then we'll run it up the flagpole. And we'll see, it sounds like it's not, well, if you had this, do you need to go to Nicholas to install the speed bumps if you have them? I guess what I was going is if we could, if we could start doing some of this stuff as quick as we reasonably can.
I think so.
Sooner than-
Yeah, I mean, anything that comes out of this committee, I think needs to go through Nicholas.
All right, okay, all right.
Just the proper channels.
Yep. I'll help you with that section of the minutes, and then I'll put together, whatever you want to call it, a memo recommendation from the committee or whatever to run up through you.
Yep.
I'd run it through you first anyways, just so you've got a chance to see it, and then run it through this, and we'll see where we go. Anything else on that issue? Okay,
Just thank you very much.
well, we ain't done yet.
No, but,
We got,
but
we got,
this is progress, significant progress.
Hopefully.
So thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah. And I know my neighbors will as well, because I've been talking to all the people.
oh, I'm sure. Well, just like emergency, it's a neighborhood issue. I mean, it's,
That's why we're on the committee.
yeah, yeah. Okay, the next item on the agenda was just, I think I pretty got a handle on it, but just for the benefit of the committee, Brian, if you could just give an update on the
Yeah,
street program.
well, I
Or
got-
maybe that's in your report. I don't know.
I'll go over it in the report. I got a couple copies.
Yep.
Is it okay if I stay?
Oh, yeah.
Open meeting, you Totally welcome.
Remember?
I don't know if I printed enough, I wasn't sure.
Joanne, would you like one? Sure. And share with Jamie.
Absolutely.
We'll start out
Jake,
with,
you're more than welcome to stay, but we don't, I'm glad you're here for that discussion. You don't have to stay for the rest if you got other things that are pressing, or if you really want to stay here and relax, you can stay here and relax.
I haven't seen the PD since 10 o'clock this morning, so.
Well, we can keep that going. I mean, we can keep you tied up for another hour or
No,
two.
no, I would like to go back and at least log my
Yeah, yeah.
couple of arrests I've made.
No, you don't have to. I appreciate you coming. Thanks a lot.
Coming.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you.
Okay,
okay, start with the fire hydrant evaluation. We still have 35 out of service. We are working on that. And additionally, in the fiscal year 26 budget, we've put a line item for contractor services so we can try to get ahead on
but I
that.
think, isn't that about cut in half? You had about, wasn't it
We
70
we were,
something?
no, we weren't up that high, but they've replaced, I think, close to 20.
Yeah.
Repaired or replaced 20 to 25 of them. So
So there were
Will that
about
change
50.
the insurance rate in the city
I don't know.
with 35 out of
Yeah.
position?
But we did get contractor services in the budget so that we can hire a
companies.
contractor to help out.
Insurance companies.
So yeah, you repaired and replaced 25 to 30, and there's another 35 remaining, just for the
Yes.
minutes. Okay.
Yep. So water main flushing, they're actually done the low pressure line, or the high pressure lines were completed. And last year, we had 2 crews, and it took them, 2 crews of 2, it took 6 weeks to do the low pressure, or the high pressure. This year, it took 1 crew of 2, 5 weeks to do it.
What's the difference? What?
Because we did it last year. It hadn't been
Oh,
done in
okay, I see, all
years.
right, okay, yeah.
And
So
now,
the duration of each flush was shorter.
it's, yeah, so that just shows that, if you keep it up,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yep.
less, but, so they have started the low pressure, which has not been done in over 3 years, and they are finding that it is going very slow. Some of these hydrants, they have to let run for 5 or 6 hours for them to clear up.
Really?
But the hope is that they can get through this, and then we will get it on a
See the same
schedule.
kind of efficiency going forward.
Yep, because I'm not sure, we had I guess it'd be a negative test for disinfection byproducts. And it was due to, we were flushing, and it took, they have to sample once a month.
Yep.
And they started flushing, and they hadn't got it all complete by the time that next sample, and they had disturbed enough in the system that we got a negative hit on the disinfection byproduct. So we have to do send out letter, I think people will be getting those letters in their monthly bill here shortly, but we're going to install 4 automatic flushers on the kind of
ends?
4 corners of
The one
the,
down by Old Iron Homes, right?
well, we will put one down there.
That's what,
Yep.
you have or you will?
No, we will, we just
Yeah,
ordered.
no, that's what I'm saying. I realize this one dead end, there's one up in
Right.
South Berry.
Yep,
I forget where the other two.
yeah, I think up by Prospect Street, the end of Prospect, and, but those will be run through the SCADA system, and they will automatically,
Would they
either,
cycle like daily or something?
I'm not sure how you can set up
But you can
those
probably
up.
set up for any cycle you want.
Right, you could either have them flow for, 10 minutes every hour, or, for whatever you need.
Yeah.
So that should increase that, but I think the real solution is if we keep our flushing schedule, and then definitely time the flushing start with, they take their sample, and we flush, and we're done flushing by the time they take their next sample, we shouldn't have a problem at all.
Well, I mean, it only proves the same old thing. If you
Keep up on the maintenance,
if you
it
can
makes it easier.
Attend to maintenance,
Yep.
it's better over a long time, although that takes time, people, and money.
It does,
But you end up spending more money if you neglect it, so.
yes. Sewer manholes are still being evaluated. We hadn't completed that last year. We haven't gotten onto evaluations this year because they've been concentrating on paving project. So those are still the estimate still is probably pretty close.
The 500, it's the 1/3 of 500,
Yeah.
right, yes.
Yep. US Route 302 water transmission main, we have 2.24 million in congressional designated spending.
Is that still good or is that gone?
No, it's still good.
Okay, good.
But the only problem with that is the current price, the estimate is 5.6 million.
Yeah.
And we don't have that match for it right now. So we are in the process of trying to change
There you go,
that
Ken.
designation.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be too long anyway, so thanks for coming. Appreciate it, yeah. Sorry, Brian.
So we're in the process of trying to change that funding to a different use. And hopefully that will be able to help some of our problems elsewhere.
If you can't, if there's no immediate source for the balance, is it possible, I'll be a little bit facetious, is it possible to say, okay, let's do half the project, let's do 2.24 million's worth and get part of it done while we,
I don't think you're gonna be really, the nature of this project is the,
take it out from underneath the dam, it's
Yeah,
probably
so-
not half a project.
yeah, I don't think there's gonna be,
Okay, all
there's not a good halfway point of that project to do it. But I've talked with EPA, and they're the ones that would make the approval on that. And it's not a hard process, it's just gotta get done.
Yeah.
And I know Waterbury did that with some of their money they had as well.
So that would allow you to find funding for the gap?
No, we would take that 2.2 million and use it elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
And we have the project ready, we would just probably wait till we have a,
Yep.
you know, Nicholas didn't want to go for a bond on that right now with the Headworks bond and the bond for the garage
Yep,
and
no.
everything else. It might be too much of an ask to go for the bond for another $3 to $5 million to complete that project. So we are hoping to move that actually down to the wastewater plant, and so we can get that operating properly. Cobble Hill water main leak, it's still leaking. We're still working on trying to find funding for that one. FEMA won't let us fix it correctly. They will just they will get us to pre-disaster conditions.
Yep.
Air Street, design's at 90%. That has been kind of put on hold for now, but possible construction next year or the year after, depending on the funding. That'll be funded in-house. Wastewater treatment plant, the Headworks project, we should go to, I think, so we have 60% review plans next week. And the loan application is still underway, but we've got word that the state revolving loan fund is available, and interest rates are, I think, less than 2% on that right now,
That's free money.
pretty close. 20-year valuation is ongoing, the collection system valuation
Is
is
that,
ongoing.
Aldrich and Elliott?
They're doing the final design on the Headworks.
Oh, they're doing the Headworks.
And Wright Pierce is doing the other three.
Right Pierce, okay.
3 projects. Yep. Collection system is going, the intermunicipal agreement and rate study review. I've got to get some last info for sewer rates.
Is that VHB is doing that?
No, Wright Pierce is doing those 3.
Oh, the collection system and the intermunicipal
Yep.
agreement? Oh, okay.
Yep, those last 2 were, well, actually, all 3 of those projects were designated from the AOD. So we.
Yep.
We'll move on to paving. Merchants Row is complete.
That's
and that was
huge.
the last section from last year. So we've opted to add Quarry Street to this year's contract because of the condition up there.
Are they starting to prep for that now? I mean, I've
Yes.
seen some work
Yep,
up there, yeah.
Yep. Pike has been in, and they've done the base on Berlin Street and Allen Street. So our guys are finishing what they can. So Pike will be on site for September 8th to grind the lower part of Prospect and Quarry Street. and then they'll start doing the remainder of the paving after that.
Okay.
So hopefully by the end of September, we should be done.
Yeah.
our paving cycle.
Still in the prime
a lot
paving
of-
season.
Those guys have been working hard at it.
And it all, I mean, the French Road is beautiful.
Yep, that one come out real good.
Yep.
It really is nice.
And Blacktop Inc. is the paver, a contractor for,
They did last year, Pike is doing this year.
oh, Pike, yeah. Okay, Pike.
And it's good, I mean, they don't mess around too much when they come to town. They are ready to work and they will get it done.
Yep,
Sidewalks, Granite Street is complete.
yep.
We did sidewalk on the top of Berlin Street, that's complete. They are currently working at Allen Street. We went to install crosswalk. I think council had asked about if we could install a crosswalk at the bottom of Allen. We went to look and there's no good
Landing spot.
receiving on the inside corner of that. So we decided we'll go up further, put a crosswalk in, and then it kept going so that we'll get the crosswalk close to that first corner, so it's not on a blind corner. And the guys are actively doing that. I think they might do their first pour of the sidewalk today.
Concrete?
Yes.
Great. Oh, and 500 linear feet of sidewalk?
Roughly, I didn't
Well,
measure it,
whatever, but where,
yeah.
now where is that? Where?
Starting at where it ends on Prospect, before Allen Street, there's, the sidewalk
Oh,
ends,
yeah.
but the curb runs up around the corner.
Yeah.
So they're doing that section, but they're gonna run the sidewalk up that side of the road to that first corner on Allen Street, and then they're gonna put a crosswalk so that you can at least see the
Yeah.
crosswalk coming down that corner, and then they'll just put a landing on the other side.
Well, that's huge. Yep.
And where does the walk go from there? Is there crosswalk continuing?
No,
You walk on the edge.
you're gonna have to walk on the edge. Eventually, we will get a sidewalk up there, but that's
One step at a time.
one step at a time. We were hoping to just do a crosswalk, do landings on both sides, but once you get there, there's no good spot, and the guys said they could get it done before paving, so I told them, go ahead.
Good.
Dagmont Avenue culvert, we have a highway grant on that one, I think for $65,000. The design is complete, but the cost estimate was $120,000, I believe. So I've sent the cost estimate to the state because they said they could adjust the grant amount. So hopefully construction will be probably next summer on that project. DPW garage, the purchase is complete. The architect and the engineer are working on preliminary site plans and renovations, and we are in the process of completing an RFP to put out for a construction manager. And hopefully that will, permitting, I think, will take us into this fall. So I don't anticipate any construction on that until the spring, but hopefully if we can get a good enough start, that next fall, we can be moving into the new garage.
Yep. That's huge.
Yep. FEMA projects, the North Main Street, design is complete. I believe they have it in, submitted for funding.
So it's just the design that's complete?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And public safety parking lot renovation, or repairs and improvements,
Who's doing that one?
we are going to award it, or it'll be going to council next week to recommend award to RJ Pichet.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the North Main Street, the design.
D&K did
Okay, that's-
that design. They just updated the one they had done before, so it goes completely across the railroad tracks to the,
Oh, yeah, that's the infamous,
that's the one that wasn't completed with Granite Street.
yeah, that's the one that pissed me off the most.
Yep, so, but I had them reassess it and extend it all the way across
Yep.
the railroad track right to the river. Public safety parking lot renovation or repairs, that will be hopefully awarded next week.
Yep.
With council's approval. And Delmont and Elmwood Stream Bank, we're still working with a consultant to get that nailed down with FEMA approval.
Who's the consultant on that one?
That's VHB.
Okay, yeah.
And then Farwell Street, Hope Cemetery, Stream Bank is in the same process as the Delmont.
Also VHB?
Yep. And then the Gunner Brook reclamation from Brook Street to the city line. That one is in FEMA's hands right now. They had separated the two projects because one of them was a debris cleanup and the other was bank stabilization. Debris cleanup has to be done by September 30th. And they just split those projects out a month ago. So, but we have petitioned them and my letter must have convinced them. So they have patched those back together as one project and we have time to move ahead on that one. But that one's probably going to be.
But that, does it include or not include any work to changing the trash rack layout?
No.
That's separate.
That's a separate.
Yeah, which hasn't been funded.
This one, what this project is we're gonna start basically at Bootsy's garage and go up the Gunner's Brook all the way to the town line where that trash rack
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And remove all the debris in the brook. And then I think there's 5 areas that they've found where the bank has been sliding, will be to stabilize those 5 locations. So that's probably at least a $250,000 project. But FEMA has bought into the concept and we're moving ahead that way.
So is the thinking that a lot of the debris that is accumulated, because I keep getting surprised every time there's a huge flood and the amount of debris that you kind of think that after a
Yeah.
while it'd flush itself out.
Well, you look at the bank is just continually caving.
Well, that's, yeah. I mean, I saw that when
We just, Donnell and I went up to just on the downhill side of Bootsy's where the drainage comes down Maple Ave and it cuts across in daylights at the Gunner Brook.
yeah.
There used to be a structure there. That structure is gone. It has just eroded out and you can see the manhole cover sitting in the brook. But, so we were just contacted the state today about getting a permit to stabilize that bank. But where it is there, you can see that there's probably 30 feet of gravel on one side where that brook has meandered all the way over to that side. And hopefully what they'll just let us do is we'll basically dig out a channel on the inside, divert the brook to that, to probably the original location of the brook. And then we can stabilize that bank and outfall. But because that is eating, and there's a personal shed right at the top of that bank. And then that line goes underneath that shed and underneath the garage over to Maple Ave. So, we can't really replace the line, so we're gonna stabilize that one, but that's probably a project that we'll contract out, but it's something that's probably gonna be on the emergency side, done right away.
Good. Well, I mean, as always, Brian, we really appreciate the reports and the updates, and just a lot of stuff is getting done. It's good.
Brian, do we include these with the minutes? Like,
You can.
that'd be wonderful. Could you email
I don't think
me?
we have in the past, but it's
But
not
I
a bad
did
idea.
email-
Yeah, I think it's great.
I think I emailed a PDF copy right
Perfect.
out before the
Oh,
meeting.
perfect. Then I'll include, because I think.
So we would
it's
have it in
worth
our
putting the
inboxes?
You
minutes.
should have it in your inboxes right now.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
That's a great suggestion, Jamie. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Questions?
Well, Renee, at some point, it might be good just to tell people in the city all this good stuff that you're doing too.
Yeah.
Do see lots of that.
I don't see that chatter because I don't listen to it.
I'm the same way. I don't see it because I'm not on it.
There was a lot of pothole chatter, and then that finally died down.
Oh, actually, that reminds me of the question I was going to ask you.
But you do, I just want to finish the thought, I mean, you're doing such really good work, and it would be great for people to know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one.
I just come to work and do my job.
With all the stuff that the guys are doing, is the pothole crew able to get out at all?
They get out, usually we try to get them out at least once a week.
Yeah, okay. I got a few that
But
I'll send a list to Donnell.
we're 3 short on the street department right now, so it doesn't get out as much as it
Yeah,
should.
no, but it's not like you've stopped for the summer.
No,
It's just that
no, it's an
you can't get
ongoing-
out as frequently as you want.
Yeah, it's one of those.
But if I
you
got a list, I've got half a dozen.
You got a list, send, give Debbie a call.
Okay.
And she's got a running list that she sends over there, either once or twice a week.
Okay, any other questions for Brian? A roundtable.
Actually, I have a question.
Oh,
for
go
Brian.
ahead.
There's a section of the sidewalk on Hill Street that's below, it's along Elmwood Cemetery. And there are all these places where the concrete blocks are eroded and it's a real trip hazard.
Yep.
You're aware of that and is that?
I am
on the-
aware of that.
Okay.
It's,
I just want to be sure you were.
Yeah, the guys have given me a list and
Okay.
put them on a map and,
I figured you probably did know about it, but I thought it.
yep, that's one of them
Raise it.
that's on the list.
Okay, good to know.
Anything under roundtable? Art, all good to go around. Art? Beth? Jamie?
Just if we could have another speed bump on Merchant, we would be greatly appreciative.
Okay.
Put that in the minutes. I don't have anything. Brian or
Nope.
Joanne?
Do you need a motion and a recommendation for that?
Oh,
I'd take a motion.
All right, so let's move that along with the changes that we're making to Hill Street, that we also
Yep.
put an extra heat bump, speed bump on Merchant.
I'll take a second.
second.
All right. Moved and seconded to install one additional speed bump on Merchant Street. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Good. And the next meeting, the next standing meeting would be Thursday, September 18th at 4:30. Any other discussion before the committee?
Thank you.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, you a second?
Yep.
All right, moved and
and
seconded. All those in favor of adjourning at 5:44. Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? If you're opposed, you can stay as long as you want.
No, you can't, because I gotta lock up.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Steve, I will send minutes to you probably the next week.
Well, technically, I meant to talk to you about that. Technically, we need to post a draft within 48 hours.
Oh, God.
Do the best you can, okay? And I tell you what,
Yeah, we are not very impressed with the, no, the funeral,
I don't know where that one.
because we told them. to
I'm
go out
fine
and,
if you want to
write out
send them to
paper,
me, but
tax
sometimes I
artists,
may not get a
free
chance to look
press.
at them real quick.
Well,
So
these
I
are
just
so,
fit in
well,
any
these
of
are
them
so
before the
technical that I want to make sure like that I've gotten like that
yeah, but
motion
still
correctly and.
don't stress yourself there. I mean, I appreciate that kind of,
Well, yeah, we were actually,
conscientiousness.
yeah, we were
but
actually
don't-
meeting with the funeral
don't-
home that night.
Don't stress yourself over that. I mean,
No, I won't stress out. I'm not sure I can do 48 hours
13.
tomorrow.
So probably was that, I think
tell
it
you
was
what.
that Thursday.
you know what the,
No, it was-
you know what the goal is.
Yep,
As soon as you can.
yep.
Whether you,
I'll
if you
work
meet
on
it, great. If you
We
don't,
were
I'll
actually
try to work on
trying
it this
to.
weekend.
there's,
Yeah, you end up
to
with
my
the-
knowledge yet, there's no committee police. So,
Yeah, I'll try to work on it this weekend and I'll send it to you
But
to
it was
review because
really-
I just want to make sure I got the technical
We were
stuff
looking at
correct and
pictures and
spelled
stuff.
correctly and like I did with, what is
4
it?
years ago,
I
was.
something root that I.
divot,
have-
is that the word? Is it-
No.
The divot was one of them, and the other one was a root log, and I had no, I was just like.
Oh, that was it. I think,
was, you know,
and I think
really
you spelled it
concerned
ROOT, but I
Yeah.
think it's ROUT.
It is.
Yeah.
I
just
went down
didn't
every
know-
night and helped
What
her
is a
put
root
them
log?
to
I
bed.
don't know what a
And
root
then
log
it
is.
got enough work that my brother came.
Thank you very much, Jamie. I really appreciate you not only stepping up to the committee, but
He,
being secretary. That's a huge
it
job.
really dropped
And a
last
thankless job of that.
probably month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too
Bye, Brian.
bad. Good night. It wasn't, stretched out. It seemed a lot longer when you're going through, but, I spent all that time with him because I wanted to. And, when he's out there,
Hey, Brian.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with what I did, so.
Is that,
No regrets.
I can't read that. Is that, if I want to end the meeting, is that the, where I put the cursor? Can you go up close there, Art, and see what that says? I'm thinking it says end, but I may be wrong. Well, right in the lower right-hand corner, right where the cursor is?
Right, left, yes.
Right,
Right, yep, that says end.
okay.